So it is 9:55 a.m. April 7th, 2024. We're back for more The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky FC for the PC. We're having some good times here. That's what we're doing. Alright. So now we want to get out of here. Basically, this is going to be a stealth dealio. So basically, to get bonus BP, you need to get to the cathedral without getting caught by any soldiers. So it's a fun time. So I would recommend, saving pretty frequently. Also, there's an item that we can pick up only at this point, so that's also a thing. Oh. It looks like they're patrolling. If any of the soldiers spot us, we'll probably get led back to the hotel. We need to study their movements and take whatever chances we can get to get past them undetected. Okay. That's basically what we want to do. So essentially, we want to get to the cathedral, but first we want to go over to the landing dock. To talk to a certain sumbitch. I do believe. Yeah, see, you can actually come over here and talk to this nerd. Ralph Nader. Crap, I've been found! I've got to get good seats for the finals tomorrow. I promised my wife that I would. I was going to camp out at the arena, but the guards sent me home. That's too bad. So I was planning on sneaking my way back and hiding. Please, you guys. I'll give you this book if you just keep quiet about me. Cornelia, Chapter 10. This is the only point where you can get this book. We have a deal. Man, I hope I can get seats front row and center tomorrow. For the love of Adios, will you please not tell the guards about me? Please? I guess. Of course, we can take this time to read the book. I mean, why not? The Last Stand. Sister Cornelia made such haste as she aimed for the path on the opposite side of the sludge-filled channel that I could have sworn she was actually running on the liquid surface. Based on my observation of the minuscule spatters her feet produced, and of course she passed me by in the blink of an eye, the space growing wider and wider between us as I continued to trudge my way through the filthy muck. Flashes of magic erupted from the darkness by the sluice gate and ripped through the air in rapid succession. But none of them could overtake the speed at which Sister Cornelia moved. In an unyielding offensive by the shadowed aggressors, the settled feculence in the depths of the channel was thrown up in the form of a powerful tsunami, and in the instant before clearing myself from its destructive path, I feared that the terrible wall of sedimented filth would crush me under its weight and bring me to an unsightly end. With a mid-air spin to avoid the last of the oncoming magic, Sister Cornelia flew to the opposite side of the channel with incredible speed, hurdling the wall of piled-up sandbags behind which the attackers took cover. She whirled her arms in a ferocious onslaught, one by one like a row of pins being struck by a weighted object. The line of standing Jaegers crumbled to the ground. Sister Cornelia's attacks were like a whirlwind of death, blurry with the speed of which they struck. They came in advancing at inconceivable angles, puncturing throats, slashing open arteries, and then they were gone. So it was then that when I finally reached the cobbled path beyond the stagnant channel, not a soul was left standing beside Sister Cornelia and myself. The cathedral is at the end of a ladder just beyond this gate. Imagine that, we're also trying to get to a cathedral. What are the odds? She indicated as she flicked dripping blood from her fingers like a child who forgot a handkerchief to dry her wet hands. Her eyes shone with the afterglow of battle. The Jaegers can't be far behind. So we better hurry, she warned. And as if to punctuate her warning, the damp sound of numerous feet, kicking up water as they advanced towards our present location, had now become clearly audible to my ears. Stepping over the handful of Jaeger corpses lying scattered about, behind the wall of sandbags, we made our way for the dry bed channel which lay ahead of us. I placed my hands on the slightly damp stone floor of the empty channel and crawled through the half-open door of the sluice gate. A falling water droplet struck the nape of my neck as I passed through the cramped opening, causing me to stop dead in my tracks. In the moment that followed, I recognized the sound of an orbment overhead on the verge of discharging a burst of magic. "Toby!" came the ostensible voice of Sister Cornelia, as my vision was instantly flooded with a wave of exceeding brightness. Then in the midst of this world of blinding light came the hand of a savior, which grabbed me firmly by the shoulder. The powerful feeling of being dragged and the explosion produced by magic rupturing stone were almost simultaneous. As the booming roar swept across the whole of my body, I was thrown backwards towards the ground. Despite my clouded vision, I managed to somersault before landing in the prone position. Choking on the filthy puddle I had fallen face down in, I lifted my head in time to see a cloud of blackened dust being heaved from the mouth of the halfway raised sluice gate door. And as if my worst nightmare had now become reality, I watched as one after another, the blockading Jaegers emerged from the smoky cloud, each bearing a glinting blade. I floundered about on the slippery mud and watched as their ranks sprang into action and closed in, the rugged facial features now visible to my eyes, instantly rolling to the side. The hell? Be quiet, you. Instantly rolling to the side, I unsheathed my hidden blade as I attempted to deflect a wide-arching slash of another with my bag, Will Osprey style. The cloth of the bag, over which the sharp edge ran, split open without a sound, and the paper-wrapped orbment fell into the cobbled floor. Frantically, I searched for the orbment at my side, but I was unable to get a grip on it because of my clumsy, panic-stricken state. One of the mercenary men, his eyes intent on my throat, drew back his long sword to end my life. That's a shame. But before he could make his move, a dark silhouette appeared from behind him. Behind? It was Sister Cornelia. Her hands, moving with such finesse, disarmed the man in an instant, and left only his sword behind, before he was launched from view into the hanging shadows veiling the dank conduit. As the sound of the falling sword struck the ground with a high-pitched clink, Sister Cornelia dropped to her knees. Her soft whispered words were full of regret. "I'm sorry, Toby." With her head bowed forward, I watched in disbelief as several streaks of blood began to run down the side of her face. "It looks like the goddess may be calling you home too," she said gently. Once again, Sister Cornelia rose to her feet, her coat hanging in tatters. Eyeing her outer garment's ragged state, I knew for certain that it had been caused by the previous blast of magic. In order to protect me from harm, Sister Cornelia had willingly used her body as a shield to absorb the brunt of the force, and now a stain of effervescing crimson blood had begun to seep through the cloth covering her breast. I swiped up the artifact which had tumbled to the ground from the hole in my severed bag and tore away the wet paper which covered its surface. Then, with the cold lump of metal in hand, I placed it atop my orbit as I gripped them both tightly together. The sound of footfall from the Jaeger Corps had by now subsided. They stood in a cluster with their swords drawn, effectively blocking any possible escape through the sluice gate. Sister Carnelia let out a shrill cry, and I, as if taking the sound to be a command to attack, unleashed the energy pent up within my orbit. The device roared, and at the instant the magic was discharged, I felt an intense wave of searing heat graze over my cheeks, as my entire body was immediately blown backwards by its powerful force. Stunned, I collapsed onto the floor. When I finally forced open my eyes, I could see Sister Carnelia standing above me with her back turned to face me. Her right arm had lost all strength to function, and hung limply at her side. Dazedly, she slid to her knees and slumped onto the ground before me. I pulled Sister Carnelia close to myself and hugged her tightly, blasting the pack of assailing mercenaries with an instantaneous wave of magic. But then it was all over, my last stand ending as soon as it had begun. Countless razor-sharp sword tips stared down at us from all sides. Convinced that I had finally reached my life's terminus, I raised my right hand, and while placing a false hope in my orbit that it could somehow protect us, I activated it, the last of its energy being consumed as it was drained to empty. Whirling arrow blades spun around us as I closed my eyes and accepted my fate. And behind my darkened eyelids, an endless realm of whiteness began to spread out before me. Thus concludes Chapter 10. Alright. Good times. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now we just want to get to the cathedral without being caught. Without being caught. Okay, good times. Okay. So it's a little trickier to get to the cathedral. Essentially, I think it's best to kind of go around the department store. Past the arena. Whoa. It's like we're playing Metal Gear. Whoa. See what I mean? There we go. Drop a save here. Crap. Crap. Shut up. Reload. That's why you want to save constantly. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Oh, nice. Made that look easy. Made that look easy. Easy peasy lemon squeeze. So you can't actually go that way. It's impossible. So you have to go this way. They're like really surrounding this area. I think we're home free. Got it. Alright, we made it. So it's kind of tricky, but it's not too bad. Stay focused, Estelle. I'll go in first. Stay close. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, Estelle. I guess I misunderstood. Huh? You came after all. It's a nun. You. Hey, aren't you the nun from before? The one who was attacked on the scenic route? It's Sister Ellen. Sister Ellen. Thank you for what you did back there. I assume you got my message. That letter was yours? But why would you do something so secretive, like... So secretive, like, just to say thanks? Ah, now I get it. It was her all along. Huh? You're very observant, Joshua. Pardon me, then. Allow me to get more comfortable. What? It's Julia. Lieutenant Julia Schwartz, commander of the Royal Guardsmen, at your service. It was her all along. Who knew? It's been a long time, you two. I knew you'd come. It's nice to see you again, Lieutenant. Last time was back in Ruin, right? Yes, it was. It hasn't been that long, but it feels like ages. Hey, hold on a second. Why are you in that getup? And why'd you call us here? And why'd you throw 1,729 cucumbers out the window? I'll answer your questions one at a time. First, the clothes. The Septian Church has long and deep ties with the royal family. Colonel Richard's little conspiracy has us on the run, and they've helped us stay hidden within the city. Oh, okay. The answer to your other question, why I called you here. If you win the final match tomorrow, you'll get invited to that dinner party at the castle, right? What I need you to do is get in touch with Her Majesty once you get inside. I realize that it's a selfish request, but since we're basically fugitives, there's no way for us to make contact. You're the only hope we have. Well then, this is kind of unexpected. Actually, we're participating in the competition specifically in hopes of seeing the Queen anyway. What? Joshua explained the request that Professor Russell gave them during the Leyston Fortress incident. Really now? Almighty Adios, thank you for your gift most sacred. In that case, I have only one favor to ask of you. When you speak to Her Majesty, heed her counsel. Of course. That was the plan from the get-go. That non-involvement rule still applies, even in a situation like this. But we'll do everything we can. I'm grateful. Please, take this with you. We get Julia's letter. What's this? Give this to the head maid Hilda, and she'll know you've spoken to me. Her Majesty is probably under very heavy guard by the Special Ops men. But you can trust Hilda. With her help, you may be able to speak with Her Majesty. Huh. She sounds like a heck of a lady. Got it. We'll talk to her. Thank you very much. Pathetic, isn't it? Huh? I was deceived, and thereby failed the one I was supposed to protect at all costs. And this happened not long after I swore that I would give my life to safeguard Her Majesty from harm. You can't imagine how helpless I feel, having to depend entirely on another's help. You really shouldn't be so hard on yourself. I hate to say this, but there is the chance that we'll lose tomorrow's match. We're gonna lose, didn't you know? Then we'll have to drown our sorrows at the local Suji box. I'm certain that you'll do just fine. That Calvardian martial artist is extremely skilled. And you are both the children of Colonel Cassius Bright. You mean you knew our dad too? Well, who doesn't? I mean, come on, man. It's not without reason that he was known as the finest swordsman in all the Royal Army. The Divine Blade at that. Before he retired from service, I had a chance to be trained by him when he was a martial artist instructor at the military academy. If not for him, I would not be nearly as skilled as I am. Cool. I can't believe that. Dad's never used anything except a bow staff. I guess he must have given up the sword when he decided to become a bracer. His goal wasn't to kill his enemies. He wanted to improve himself and help those weaker than he. That's why he chose the bow staff as his weapon. Or so I imagine. Really? I didn't know that my use of a staff had that kind of significance. I'm sure he hoped that you'd inherit the same kind of mindset. I think he'd be proud of you. Joshua. Colonel Cassius trained both of you. I have all the faith in the world that you'll win tomorrow's match. Hearing you say that almost makes me think you're right. We'll put everything we have into it. Uh-oh. Pardon us, this is the Grand Cell City Guard. Due to the terrorist threat, we will now be patrolling the main facilities. I apologize for the lateness of the hour, but do you mind if we have a look inside? Crap. Busted. Quite alright, thank you. Just a moment, please, and I'll open the door. There's another door at the back of the altar room. You know, that door that's been locked. You can get outside from there. Okay. Please be careful. Better be careful. Whew. Well, we managed to avoid the patrols so far. It doesn't look like there are any soldiers this way. Yeah, I'm not sensing anyone. I guess the night patrols are finally done. Let's rest for a moment here, then head back to the hotel. Okay. This is a very important area. For the end of the game. Ugh. So much is going on. It's starting to give me a headache. I'll bet. I never would have imagined it to be Lieutenant Schwartz waiting for us at the cathedral. Wait, so... she wasn't who you were expecting to find there? Could it be... you were thinking it'd be someone you'd known before? Well... oh. Sorry. Forget I said anything. Gotta remember the rules. Quiet, you. Estelle. won't ask you anything before we met until you're ready to tell me. I try to be careful, but sometimes it just slips my mind. Estelle, I think you've gotten a little stronger during our travels. Well, I would hope so. We have leveled up quite a bit. Huh? It's overwhelming to think about all the people around us. Each and every one of them living his or her own life. All under the same sky. Also, this is the title screen theme. And every person you meet has a personality, and a history, and a story to tell. Every one of them is just like us, living day to day. Sometimes I just have to remind myself that no one acts without cause. Nothing happens without a reason, or a motive, or an excuse. And it's only when I remember that I start to feel like I might be able to reclaim the parts of me I've lost. Joshua? Probably just fooling myself, tricking myself into accepting things I can't change. Yeah. But even so, I'm grateful for having someone with me. The sky, Dad, but most of all, you. Joshua. So, I promise, once this whole matter is settled, and if Dad comes back safely, I'll tell you everything there is to know about my past. Really? Really. With the stars as my witness. Okay then, we have ourselves a deal. A DLC. Estelle? All my gloom's gone fluttering away. Because once you've told me what you've got to tell me, then I'll tell you what I've got to tell you. What? Oh wait, is this about that thing you've had on your mind? Yep. Gonna have to psych myself up for it. Psych yourself up? Is it really something so dramatic? I mean, if it's that important, I really don't mind hearing about it now. Absolutely not. It's a delicate matter, and timing is crucial. Though, I guess the situation does feel kinda right. But still, no dice. Not yet. I don't get you sometimes, Estelle. I swear, you seem like you're ready to take on anything now. All because we got a big talk planned. It makes no sense. Of course I'm ready. Ain't no way I'm letting those guys keep me from this talk. I'm gonna show those special ops types how a touch of girl power can ruin their whole day. Ruin their... You really are your father's daughter. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? You better not be comparing me to a middle-aged man. Yeah, I guess you're right. Somehow, I think we're going to do just fine tomorrow. Sure. Gonna kick some a-hole.